All right. We are back at the DSRC. It is time for RT Sidebar, Barflies Worldwide. We're going to talk about HOSA. You're like, what the heck is HOSA? Well, we have a good friend that's going to tell us all about HOSA and what you can do to support students coming into the respiratory program. So, for a very interesting and informative RT Sidebar, stay tuned.
We have one of our really good friends here. We have
Barfly
Meliza Walsh.
Yay!
Absolutely a gem. If you have been on my Instagram, you may recognize her.
She's a good meme.
She is a fantastic meme. She is a great sport, and she is actually our chair of our HOSA chapter here in Texas. So, what the heck is even HOSA?
Awesome question. So glad you asked. Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Yeah, this has been a long time coming. So
been a
awesome.
long time.
Yes.
Yeah.
So glad it's finally happening for us. So HOSA is just healthcare organization for students association. It's just a way to connect all of these high school and middle school students to healthcare careers. And we're very fortunate to have a lot of support, not just at the state level, the local level, but also nationally from AARC and our NBRC partners to represent respiratory therapy at these huge events and at the smaller ones at the school that I think have a lot of impact as well.
That's right, Matt. You do some work with the national side, don't you?
I do. So our good friend, Terry Miller, is the chair of the Workforce Recovery Task Force, which does a lot of stuff with HOSA, and then the House of Delegates does stuff with HOSA. And, really getting, I want to say kids, they're not kids, these young adults to become respiratory therapists. You can't start in college. You have to start in high school. I think about my own story. I didn't know what a respiratory therapist till I was in college. I got lucky to find it.
Yeah.
But I wish I knew something about it when I was in high school, because then I might have maybe prepared a little bit for college. But, shout out to Mansfield, shout out to Susan Ferrito, who I think graciously graduated me when I was in respiratory school. But HOSA is such an interesting thing. It's a big organization. It's been around for a while. I think how many states is it in? It's like
It's in every state.
it's every state.
Yeah.
So what is it? Like, what do they do? Like, I don't quite understand it. So please enlighten us.
Really awesome stuff. It's actually even international. I had the pleasure of going to their international conference last year, in addition to their state conference, which was awesome. But it was really just your high functioning, super dynamic middle school and high school students that come and they go to all of these tables to learn about all the different healthcare professions. And like I said, like they come, they talk, they tell us what they want to do, and they're just so excited. They're like so full of energy. It's so hard to not match their energy. And they love pins. I did not like pins that you put in the pin, like your fellow of AARC pin, sir. Yes, I love that you're a bark. That's so pretty. Well deserved though, right? Like, but those pins, they mean so much to these kids because they go to all these different conferences and they try to impress you at the booth. Like, talk about, I'm here to talk to you about respiratory. They're like, oh, if I participate, if I do this, do I get a pin? And we had them. We had AARC pins at the international one, and
that's cool.
And the sweetest thing they'll do, they'll give you a pin.
Yeah.
Oh,
It's an exchange program.
It is.
Right?
oh,
Yeah. I don't know where this originally stems from, but I have a like someone that grew up in softball, right? And they did the same thing. Like, they had team pins and they would put them on towels, like the towels that they would like wipe off before they make their pitch or whatever they do. I don't know. But they would exchange pins that way. So I don't know if this is kind of crossed over into other spaces.
So, yeah.
Like, we have challenge coins, like old people have challenge coins, right?
I have one.
I forgot mine.
Oh, ooh,
I know.
wow.
I know. You got to come around a little bit more.
Yeah,
You get
I
you some more
really do.
challenge funds.
For sure.
So it sounds like it's like a career fair specifically for health professional careers, but like on steroids.
Yes, like on really high levels of steroids. Like these kids are awesome, and they compete. They have competition. So they'll have like each different healthcare field like creates a competition. The ARC has been so awesome at our House of Delegates kickoff HOSA meeting this past week. They showed us, they actually created a criteria for us to develop a respiratory competition. So that's one thing our committee at the Texas state level is working on, is making sure that next year at the state conference, we have a competition that is respiratory specific.
So what type of competition?
Yeah.
Like, is it like
Yeah.
speed?
What are the skills? What are the,
So,
tell us more.
yeah. So they have different examples of what you can do. They want you to keep it super basic, but exciting.
Okay.
So maybe think about like CPR, something we engage in. Can you put this too? But because we've had like the heads and we've had students come intubate, we just have to be careful because, we need the equipment to also be okay after they maybe don't truly intubate, We don't need to be doing in the heat type of intubations with a straw and stuff like that.
Sure.
Or pens, but that's what we would love to do. The committee themselves, we actually have a chair and we have co-chairs, and they all have these wonderful ideas on what to create. Like we've had people talk about, let's help them develop this, and this can be a competition. I'm like, wow, I would have never thought of that. So it also it bounces back and you get people excited. They come up with some amazing ideas of how to get people involved, how to get these
really
kids
cool.
engaged. So that's our goal for next year.
That is cool.
Yeah.
If I get to come to the TSRC every year and I love it. This is like my second
love it
home.
too.
Oh, thank you. I'm going to blush again. But what if we did some competitions?
Yeah.
Like, hey, how fast can you get this tube in? Or can you do a blood gas blindfolded? Like, doing like cool
Yes.
stuff. Because JJ, you always have like usually have this like some type of skills fair, like that would be a lot of fun. The Sputum Bowl is awesome, and Joe Lewis does it. He does a fantastic job. But I would like to see the professional RTs kind of show off their talents too. That'd be pretty fun.
What if
Yeah.
we did like a dizzy bat intubation?
We should, now,
Right?
just gonna put this out there because you guys have the right platform for it. You guys have a leadership workshop.
Yeah.
I think this is a great way. I judged for Sputum Bowl yesterday, and I just sat there and they asked the questions. I was like, oh, I know the answer, but then I'm a judge, can't say anything, and my face gives everything away, which is why somebody made me a meme. But I think that, man, I would love to see some of that. Like I've attended your leadership workshop 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
I didn't get to this year. Super big bummer for me.
Yeah.
But you guys do some great work with that. So would love to see
That would be kind of
some of that stuff happen there
Let's
too.
involve the students a little bit more moving
Oh,
forward.
that'd be great.
So
you do something with students and the leaders together.
yeah.
Ooh, that's fancy.
We had a couple of students that were here yesterday, and I wish they would have stuck around for the entire day. But they were here with us in the morning, and in the afternoon we had some activities because we don't stand up here and talk at our leadership workshop the entire time. We like to do some activities and get people engaged and to actively put into application the things that they are working on that they learned from the didactic portions. And it would have been really interesting to see what the students' take would have been with what they would have liked to have implemented in a brand new department. That would have been really cool. What do you think, Matt?
When I talked to those two students who were lovely, they were like, I wish I learned more about leadership in school. I wish I learned more about what we consider soft skills.
Yeah.
But those soft skills is what makes you a great therapist, not a technician, a great therapist. And I feel like us being involved, us as respiratory, involved in HOSA, we could set that tone that this is, shout out to Russell, by the way. He said, let's stop taking care of our treatment list. Let's start taking care of people.
Yeah.
And I think that if we could start that at a young age, that's what our profession is, then, we'll figure out how to put a neb together later. That's fine. Like we'll do that. But how to talk to people, take care of people, I think it's a real thing. I think that's why the students get so excited because they have all the hope still there.
We still have hope. We still have
hope.
We have hope.
Yes.
But no, I think you're right. I think that's where the excitement comes from because they see the opportunity. And sometimes when we get so stuck in the nitty gritty of like the everyday type of stuff, sometimes we lose sight of the bigger picture. of the why we started, because your why evolves over time, right?
Of course.
And, then when you talk to these students and you tell them like, hey, this is what a respiratory therapist can do. I will tell you, even when I was in respiratory school, never in a million years would I have imagined that I would have been able to do everything I've done as a respiratory therapist. Yeah. And one of the things that I sent back to our House of Delegates HOSA group was, we should create a visual that shows the different paths. Like, you can start here, but man, like, to think about like all the people and all the different paths they've taken, or even your guys' journey, right?
David Vines and I have had numerous conversations about what that looks like and how we can get so much more exposure out there for all of the different avenues. We talked to a respiratory coach earlier, and he's on a path that's completely different than
breaking glass ceilings, right?
He is. And, Mindy, she's co-host here, and she's now the very first APRT. She's been that way for a couple of years now, but again, blazing trails. We just talked to Jessica and Anna Donahue, and they're blazing trails with their residency program. So like, I try to encourage my students to have an obscenely grandiose imagination. If you can dream it, it can be done. Right. And it's just a matter of how many times can you get past no? And that was one of the things that we talked about yesterday in our leadership workshop, is getting past no to get to your yes. And also being able to say no, right? Because we all have a very, very full plate. We all have a full plate, and you have to be able to say no so that you don't keep adding to your plate. So we did an exercise, Matt led us in this, is getting past your no. They're getting past no and being able to say no. So it was a really good exercise.
That's awesome. And keep doing more of that. Like, I am very excited for the work you guys are doing with that workshop. And I think that greater things are to come.
I think so too. When we had the student speed networking event yesterday, we had the RT sidebar table where people are like, well, what the heck is RT sidebar? We didn't really talk about RT sidebar. We talked about don't limit yourself. Grow and never stop learning. Yeah. And find a positive impact player at your first job. Yes. Because you can get into the negatives really quick. But you find that one person that believes in you, your life just opens up. Like, I was thinking about this. My wife's a therapist too. And
my husband is too. He's a respiratory therapist.
That's what we're going to make Alicia a respiratory therapist soon too. No, she says no. But think about all the stuff that we have done. Yeah. I have no reason to be on a helicopter, and I don't like burn units. Those are two things I didn't want to do, and the two things I haven't done. Fair. So that's it. But like all the avenues, and people are like, "Oh, you can only go to management or education." That is
not true. No, man, not at all.
And I think that us being involved in HOSA, we could show them those possibilities, like right off the bat. Hey, this is what a respiratory therapist is. This is where a lot of them live, but these are where all the other places you can go. And it's pretty fun.
Yeah, no, definitely agree. And I think more to your point, and I hope that it resonated at our table too. We were at the event and we talked about that too, is connect yourself with the right people. Don't blend in. We don't want you to come in and just kind of sit in and become part of the crowd. Like, stand out, because we're looking for the next person, right? We're looking, who's next? Who do we start grooming now? And we all know that doesn't happen overnight, and mentorship evolves over time and things like that. So it does, but it starts with HOSA. You start mentoring them then and getting them curious.
Exactly. I remember having students when I was still a clinician. My wife says I'm a pretend respiratory therapist now. It's been a long time. But when you had a student that was eager, I just grabbed them. You're mine today. I loved it. And I love to scare them. Okay. So I was working in the NICU, and this is the best. And I'm like, what would you like to do when you finish? I want to work in the NICU. I'm like,
let me show you.
So we had to give surfactant to a baby, and we were neopuffing, right? Anybody can do this. So I go, this is how neopuff works. And I showed her how it worked, and I walked away. Oh, watching her the whole time. And she is crapping her pants. And I'm like, look, I come back. She's like, where did you go? I go, you're fine. You're breathing for this kid. And I saw her eyes just light up. I am breathing for this kid. Yeah. Like, that is so, so inspiring. And it made me feel great. You know, with all the bad that we deal with, to have those moments when you feel great, when you can inspire somebody, mentor,
Yeah.
that fresh face. Oh, it feels so good. I
Yeah.
love it.
No, absolutely.
Yeah, and finding your replacement, right? That is something that is huge. I've even said it in leadership workshops. You have to lead people to leave, right? Whether that is, because they need to seek excellence elsewhere, or they need to be someone that's going to replace you.
Yeah.
Right. And you need to continue to aspire to do greater things. So, whether that is identifying that one person or blanketly saying, hey, we need somebody to step up in this, finding that person that's going to be your replacement is something that you have to do. And you try to get me to be your replacement.
I'm always trying to get you to be my replacement.
Sure. I do exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
Oh, JJ, what's up, buddy? What do you want to do now?
But it speaks volumes to you and your character, right? And like kind of like what you've put out there. And like I told students last night, people are watching.
Sure.
Like you may not think they are, but people are watching the things you do, the way you carry yourself, the engagement you have, how you get people excited. And going back to that positive demeanor, building other people up, pouring into them.
Yeah.
Like I can go back to my very first TSRC several years ago. And that's where we met, was at that leadership workshop.
Absolutely.
And that's how you and I met. And we connected, and then you connected me with other people. And that's the part two, right? Is you meet one person, you have no idea how much they will give you access to things. And that's what you did for me. Like my interest and my engagement with the TSRC started with connecting with you at that leadership conference. So that's pretty awesome. And you don't know the impact you have until like many years later. And so I love that you were so welcoming and you were so like, oh, I don't care that you're not from Texas, get involved.
Yeah.
The next year I submitted a presentation and then eventually I moved here, but that's how it started.
In the talk yesterday, I talk about collaboration as one of my core values because I have a quote from Nipsey Hussle. It says that if you look at your inner circle and you don't get inspired, you don't have an inner circle, you have a cage.
Yeah.
Right. And in that same slide, I talk about you're one introduction away from unlocking unlimited potential. So finding whoever it is, whatever it is, making an introduction to somebody to get them involved in the TSRC or getting them involved in an organization, you have no clue of what the ripple effect is going to be.
Oh, yeah.
It's so good. So we like to...
Makes me happy.
Oh, do you need tissues? We have them accessible. That was a lot of feelings right there.
I had some feelings.
Yeah.
We always say that if JJ cries, it's a good episode. That's how we know it's a good episode. Thanks, buddy. Thank you.
There.
I think I don't think that we do a good job talking about the importance of a network. I met you here last year.
Yeah.
Or I met you
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
It was last year the backpack snack.
Yeah. Last year, I think, is when we truly bonded. Like that was a formative experience. At the foundation dinner. Yeah.
Yep.
You and Brian and I sat down and we had a nice meal at the foundation, and I won a prize.
You won a prize.
And that's how we bond.
Yes, that is how we
So
bonded.
Melissa gets hangry.
I do get hangry.
So I won a snack backpack.
Yes.
And I said,
all the pockets.
Here you go, my friend.
With all the snacks.
All the snacks. And
I
you're
did.
like,
I was so
that's
happy.
my friend.
Yeah. And every year we come, Brian's like, don't be stealing Matt's, like when he wins stuff. I was like, if he has snacks, we have a deal. It's a lifelong deal now.
We have a lifelong deal.
Yeah.
But that network really matters. It really does. And no one teaches that.
No.
But those HOSA kids, they create a network. They know what a community's like. They're getting their pins. Like, I want to see that level of excitement at HOSA continue through our profession.
For sure.
Because that network, that matters. That really, really matters. JJ, you and I became really good friends. I didn't know you 5 years ago.
No.
And now we're on a podcast together.
That's crazy.
And we work with Mindy. We have Meliza on, and we have Alicia over there. And we have so many good people that we've met. And I think that, it brings me a lot of joy.
Yeah.
Brings me a lot of joy.
You spend so much time in your career. Like, why would you want to spend it with Debbie Downer?
Oh, bye, Debbie.
Bye.
Bye, girl.
Girl. Bye.
Not,
Felicia, get out.
not today.
Right. So, like, why wouldn't you find that positive influence, or why wouldn't you be that positive
Yeah.
influence? So, I mean, I think it's a great time for us to kind of segue into somebody that's been a positive influence. So, what we do on RT Sidebar is we do shout outs.
Love that.
We do shout outs. So, Melissa, who do you want to shout out?
Man, so many great people, quite frankly, but
Don't miss your husband.
Ooh. Mhm. Yes, let me start out by, I think, obviously shouting out. No, no kidding. I think that if Brian hadn't moved out here, I wouldn't have met the great network that I did.
Mhm.
That was so like pivotal, I think, in my career where I was at. And I was so hungry to do those things. And I think that inspired me to continue to also do that for other people. So obviously, most certainly so grateful for what my husband does and for the people he introduced me to so that I can be who I am today.
Mhm.
But I also want to shout out one of my own team members. And, Lindsay Franks, Spotty Award recipient for
Let's
leadership.
go.
Let's go.
Yes, leader,
So,
grower. Yeah.
Barfly exclusive content
Yes.
right now. This never happens.
Ever.
We have the shout out in person.
Mhm.
So, Lindsay, want to come up and say hi to
Let's go. Lindsay.
Barflies?
Come on. You have been hiding in the background this whole time,
Thank
but
you.
Well,
just lurking over there.
Yeah.
This is
Worker.
this is a first. And getting the opportunity to have our shout out here, what would you like to say to your person that's right here with you?
Oh my gosh. Okay. You got the tissues ready. Yeah, I'm ready. Well, it won't be a secret because I tell her this every day, but going back to the importance of pouring into your people and creating those opportunities and man, just like being the number one cheerleader. Like I remember coming to Texas Children's and it was a huge transition for me to go from one organization to the next. And I was struggling and there were just things that Lindsay did. Like I remember she brought the team together. She did a little powwow. She's like, hey, we got this. We're going to do this. And I was just so impressed because that's something you typically have to coach somebody to do. She just went out right out the gate and did it herself. And even as, we kind of grew and kind of had these really intense situations, we had to kind of talk through and develop a really trusting relationship. It has been so awesome to see you flourish. Because you could have chosen not to. You would have been like, I'm out. This is too much. And instead you're like, yeah, like Braveheart scene. Let's do this. We got this type of thing.
Love that.
And, I'm so glad that now you're getting more involved. You're now our next HOSA chair.
Yay.
Yes, HOSA 2026.
Yeah.
And, I love that you got engaged this year. You went to the state conference.
Mhm.
I know we went to the international one last year together. That was awesome. And you're getting so much more involved. And I love that we have the opportunity as an organization to recognize your hard work through the TSRC Spotty Award.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So I'm so proud of you. I get all mushy about you. Recipe bestie type
Yes.
of situation here. But it is so awesome to work with you every day. And that's what I have. But I'm disappointed you didn't cry. Next time, try harder.
Well, I can be stoic, but I'm so glad that Melissa came to Texas Children's, what, a year and a half ago now?
A year and a half.
Yeah. You've been an amazing mentor.
Oh, thank you.
And you are the reason why I got involved with HOSA. Melissa, I think you went to Galveston the first time to do something with HOSA.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was like, what are you doing? So she
Where are
told me,
you? Recipe bestie.
yeah. And so she was telling me about it. And I'm like, this sounds really interesting. So I got on the website, I looked it up. And then I'm like, hey, can I get involved? And so she was like, yeah, we have the international HOSA convention in Houston. And I went to the international convention and I absolutely fell in love with HOSA.
It was the seesaw.
Yeah, it was a
There was a
seesaw.
seesaw right outside the convention center. And we got on the seesaw.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a whole story. But this is how you bond, right? Like this is what brings people back to these really tough roles and fills their cup. We got on a seesaw.
We did.
And we seesawed and I got stuck up on the top.
I could not quit laughing.
And she couldn't get off because she was scared that if she got off,
Oh, yeah.
I'd like thump down.
Yeah.
So we had to ask some strangers for help to get me off the seesaw.
It was so funny. I mean, my face was just solid.
We laughed so
Yeah, we
hard.
did.
We laughed so hard.
did.
But I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No, well, it just back to the convention, it was just a lot of fun. And I love seeing how all the students were so like engaged in everything healthcare and they wanted to learn about everything. And I also really love getting our profession out there. It was really great to see students who didn't know what respiratory was, talk to them about a possible career path that they can take. And so from then on, I've just really been engaged with it.
Yeah. Pretty awesome. It's a whole lot of fun.
No, it is so good to see like such a immature. I mean, not that you guys are immature, but just
Thank
a
you.
new relationship, right? A new relationship just growing,
Yeah.
and there's so many different avenues that you can get involved in, right? Starting with, of course, TSRC. That's something where we met, right? We have the Respiratory Care Foundation of Texas. We've talked about that before. You guys, well, all three of us are part of HOSA here from Texas. So there are so many different organizations that you can be involved in. And so many people kind of get frustrated with, oh, I'm stuck doing the same thing every single day, da, 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 da. Well, there are so many organizations that you can get involved in, right? There's the Asthma Allergy Network. There's the COPD Foundation. There is, I'm going to miss somebody, so I'm not going to start listing everybody, but there are so many different organizations that you can be a part of that will lead you into, this level of joy.
Yeah.
So, Lindsay, do you have a shout out?
Who do I want to shout? I mean, really, the only show you would be my shout out, but you're right here.
I'm already here.
Yeah. I can't think off the top of my head.
Well, I think you could also kind of talk about some of the people you've met, like through those experiences.
Yeah,
You
I
know?
would say just in general, like I really this year networking, you know how you're talking about a lot of people don't understand with respiratory of like, hey, I want to do something, but I really don't know how to get involved. I think that's the big thing. People don't understand how to get involved with the TSRC or get on the Asthma Allergy Network, the COPD.
Sure.
They need that first person to be like, this is how you get involved. This is how you do it. And I think once that happens, and that's why I would shout out you over everybody, because, once that one person takes the time, and then you're like, okay, this is great. This is filling my cup. And then now that person also wants to carry it on to the next.
So anybody wanting to get involved in HOSA, how do they get involved?
Great question. So a couple ways. One, they can talk to me. I'm here, TSRC. I'm around LinkedIn, Instagram, the whole shebang. We have a hosa@tsrc.org email too. They could also talk to you.
Yes, they can always talk to
Very,
me.
very involved,
Yes.
which is awesome. And like Lindsay,
Mhm.
but we all I feel like our committee here works really well together where we have people like, yeah, you're a co-chair, but you're doing a lot of stuff with it, at the AARC level. Alicia Osario is going to go to the international conference this year with Terry Miller. So
Right.
I think whoever wants to get involved, we have so many ways to be found.
Absolutely.
But I'm around and, we all kind of know each other and just
Yeah.
let us know. You don't have to do a lot. It's not a huge
Nope.
commitment. It's just
Many hands make light work.
absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So my shout out, I'm going to shout out Terry Miller.
Yeah.
Terry
Oh,
Miller is doing a
amazing
lot
person.
of work at the national level for HOSA. So I had the opportunity to meet Terry through our leadership workshop several years ago, 4 years ago now. And it was Terry, Gary, and an old man named Matt that we might be familiar with. And it was an amazing workshop, and I've built relationships with Terry, Gary, and Matt through that first opportunity. Whenever somebody said, "Hey, JJ, you want to try and do workshops? You've done some of these other things with the program committee. Let's take workshops on, and we'll introduce you to the right people." And they introduced me to Matt, and they introduced me to Terry and to Gary, and it's been absolutely amazing. So Terry Miller, thank you for everything that you do. You are a foundation to us as respiratory therapists, and you are an inspiration to the next generation of respiratory therapists. So thank you for everything that you do, all the work that you've put in, and all of the work that you will continue to do. So Yeah, this has been absolutely amazing. It's still been a great show, even though there weren't tears. Lindsay, try harder next
My
time.
gosh. Are you dehydrated? Is that what happened? I didn't give you enough water?
Yeah.
Oh, I failed you today.
Obviously.
Well, we know where we're going after this.
Yeah, we gotta go get some water.
Got to take care of her.
That's right. That's right. So, Barflies, we love you. Thank you for tuning in each and every week that we produce an episode. If you're not a Barfly, you're losing out. Be a Barfly. Jump on LinkedIn. Become one of the Barflies on our LinkedIn channel. And yeah, more episodes to come.
Awesome. I love it. Thank you for having us. It's been fun.
Thank you.
Stay tuned.
Vapotherm does not practice medicine or provide medical services or advice. Any clinical recommendations provided herein are solely those of the speaker. Practitioners should refer to the full indications for use and operating instructions of any products referenced before use. Hosts and producers are paid employees or consultants of Vapotherm, and our guests are not compensated.